Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me for today's Lunch and Learn. I'm Keith Armour. I'm the Education Homework Support Manager. Still down here at the main library, but if you don't know already, the main library is going through a couple of renovations. Just not a couple, a lot of renovations. And I'm going to show you about how to find more information and keep up to date on that in just a few minutes. We've moved all of the services out of the south building into the north building. So your popular libraries over here, the tech centers over here, the adult learning center is still over here too. And all the services are here. Our drive-through is still in the same location. So you can still come through our drive-through at Main and pick up those holds. But we also have holds over here in the north building. Really a lot of excitement. But today's Lunch and Learn is about Digital Inclusion Week. Now, Digital Inclusion Week is a way to highlight all of the digital services that are out there in different organizations. And one organization that I know and is very dear to my heart is the library. Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library has so many wonderful things to offer all of our wonderful customers, all of our card holders, the digital services that they need. And they can learn more about them, not just during 1 week, but all throughout the year. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that, and then we'll look at a couple of events that are happening across the library too. All right.
All right, I thought I'd show you this page because of all of the things that are happening at Main, such as the South Building closing and everything coming over here to the North Building. But there's a lot more than just what's happening at Main. So we're at cincinnatilibrary.org/next-generation. And this is our goal, is to try to prepare the libraries for the next generation. Making sure that there's a lot of technology and there's meeting spaces and all sorts of different things, and making sure that we keep on top of all of the maintenance that goes into running such a large county-wide system that we have. You can read all about the plan here, but I think what's more fun is to come down here to the current projects, completed projects, and then future projects. And it keeps going on. There's several dots here. They're going to work on the Cheviot branch, Delhi Township, Elmwood Place, Forest Park, Miami Township, Mount Healthy, Sims Township, and also the West End branch. So if you're thinking about what are they going to do at Cheviot, you just click on the picture of Cheviot, and it's going to take you to the page. And this is something that is tentatively scheduled to start in 23-24. So believe it or not, that's coming up soon. But what's great is that you could already start giving some feedback to the master plan, and you can be very specific about Cheviot. And as it gets closer to that date, make sure you look out for public meetings that we always hold before we start a project. So make sure you keep on track of that. And then, of course, if you come over here to the completed projects, you can see Anderson Township, Price Hill Branch, and the Distribution Center. One of the things that's great about the Distribution Center is it really makes sure that all of the almost 20 million items that you all checked out the last year, they get out to the branches as fast as they can. And this is a great place to check that information out. And of course, the Price Hill branch, we added so much square footage to that branch, and really great meeting rooms as well. And then the Anderson branch, they had what's called a refresh. And I just want to tell you that here is all of the things that happened. And you can watch a great video that will highlight all of them. But you can tell I'm going to scroll all the way down at the bottom first. So here's what the branch kind of looked like as it was being prepared for the refresh. And then as you scroll through, or scroll back up, you can see all of the different things that are there, okay? So you can see all of the different chairs that are there, and then the little artwork that was added, especially to the children's area. So that's some stuff that you can do right away. You can see what has already been done. And then you could start looking at the current projects. And we have several. We have the Downtown Library, Deer Park, Madisonville, and also Walnut Hills. I'm just going to focus real quick before we go into Digital Inclusion Week, Downtown Library. And so we're making sure that we replace the skylight and the elevators. They just have they literally have a shelf life. They can only last so long, and they need to be refreshed and replaced. And here, what's really exciting is the Main Street, the main library's plaza redesign and interior refresh. And our wonderful director, she did a closing ceremony. There was with several different dignitaries as well. And those are some of the pictures of what it's going to look like when it's finished. But I just want to point these out because this is just a great way to keep on track of the different things that are happening. I have to show you Deer Park real fast. Deer Park is going to be opening later this fall, and I'll definitely do a lunch and learn about that. But it is going to be so big. It is going to move into, they're still open in their current spot, but they're going to move into a much bigger place, 25,000 square feet. All right. So we're here for Digital Inclusion Week. I'm going to go back to the main page and then scroll down here to research databases. Now, I want to point out there's some things that you can do online for lifelong learning, because a couple of things I do want to point out as that page comes up is that all of our branches have computer access. You can reserve a PC up to 24 hours. So you know that you definitely have a PC that is available for you when you get to the branch. So that's something that we have. We have faxing and copying, and those are ways that we help make sure that we include everyone when it comes to digital access. And the libraries across the United States have done such a great job of that. There are a lot of different things here. We've talked about Creative Bug before on Hobbies and Crafts Reference Center, and we might come back to that during the winter. But right now we're going to go to LinkedIn Learning, and that used to be called lynda.com. And I'm going to put in my card very quickly and then hit continue. Now, what's great about this is that there are so many different things that you can focus on. I'm going to click right here to the browse. It's right next to the icon at the top, and I'm going to click browse. Now, this is for people that are for beginner, intermediate, and even advanced. And there's a lot of business topics here, okay, first. So lots of business topics. And I highlighted a couple of weeks ago about the topics for educators. And then if you click here to the next one, this is the creative. So here is for people that are doing graphic design, photography, user experience, video, all of the ones that web design, all of the things that you might find that are very, very helpful. And you'll notice down here, here's some specific software that you might use in a creative, for the creative topics. So if you want to do Cinema 4D, you can click there and it will take you to a couple of courses on learning about Cinema 4D. If you go next to the last one here, you just click technology. And here are the ones that a lot of us are familiar with. You might not be familiar with a lot of cloud computing, but here is working in the cloud, an IT help desk, security, software development, web development as well down here. And these are some software packages that you could possibly learn about the different software there as well. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to go to business again, and I'm going to scroll back down because we didn't look at these. These are all the ones here. So if I wanted to learn a little bit more about Microsoft Teams, say you've gotten a new job and they are going to be using Microsoft Teams and you're unfamiliar with it, well, there's a lot here. There's 26 different lessons here, courses that you can take. You can take one that was just updated 3 months ago. So let's look at that. This is Microsoft Teams Essential Training.
Biggest keys to success in the workplace. Microsoft Teams offers several.
And you'll notice there's a video component to it, and it's going to take you through each element here. And what's great is when you're finished with a particular part, it is going to automatically save that under your library card. Remember, if you need a library card, give us a call, drop by one of our branches, and you can easily get a library card. But it's going to go over for the Microsoft Teams Essential Training. It's going to go over the communication, communicating effectively. It's going to be joining or managing Teams groups, conversations using Teams and channels, private chats, meetings and calls, sharing files, apps and optional features. Sorry, didn't wear my right glasses today. Search settings and customization, and then working with the mobile app. And now you can, if you already know a lot about Teams already, and you just want a refresher about customizing the channel tabs, you can go directly there and watch a 4-minute and 12-second video about that. Now, here are some related courses over here about that topic. The same thing here is if you did it from the very beginning to the very end, it would be 2 hours and 21 minutes. And it is for a beginner all the way up to an intermediate individual. These are the course objectives, and these are the skills that are covered. Okay. And once again, this was updated just this past June on June the 23rd. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. So I'm going to back up and go out again. And if we were going to pick something else, let's go back and let's pick Microsoft Office 365. And you'll notice here is a week ago, oh wow, introduction of Microsoft 365 for IT pros. And here is Microsoft Office 365. This was back in 2019. 2020. There's different ways that you can look at them. You can look at courses, videos, or learning paths. You can look at content. You can look at time to complete. And you can also look at by level. So you can be either a beginner, intermediate, advanced, and it's going to show you I'm going to pick beginner, and it's just going to show you the beginner classes, okay? So that's a way that you can kind of see what's going on. There is another feature over here that says popular. So that means that it has had a lot of different learners. Look how many learners are here. Over 1 million learners have taken this course on using Excel in Microsoft Office 365. Okay. So that is one resource that I think is really good. LinkedIn Learning has so many great things that you can learn on here. And if you just explore, you can always just type things in here. You can then develop your own My Learning Plan. And these are some things that I've been talking about or doing in the past. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the main page and go under Research Databases. Now, this one isn't as easy to get as I would like, but we're going to actually go to Homework Help. We're going to click on that. And remember, it has this little library card. So when you click on this and you're not in the library, you're going to have to put in your library card number and your PIN, okay? Now, we're going to skip this part, and we're going to go right up here to Adult Learners. And right there, you see a lot of different things for the adult learner. You have some live tutoring, and that is from 2 in the afternoon until 11 at night, 7 days a week. Skill building, writing lab, and test center, and then even sending in a question. There's high school equivalency preparation. So if you're thinking about preparing for either taking the GED or the high set. That is a great place to go. Preparing for the U.S. citizenship test. That's a great place. And there's career resources and even a section on writing a resume. We're going to Microsoft Office Help. We're going to click right here. And what I love about this is that you can get live help on Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. And remember, that is that's 7 days a week from 2 until 11, all right? But here are the resources section. So I'm going to click on resources, and you have two of the best sites to go to. And I'm going to point, this is the official Microsoft Office website, but I'm going to point out learnfree.org. Click here. And what I really like about this, they have the most up-to-date version of Office at the very, very top. And then after that, it has all of the other versions. So you might be starting a job that actually they have not upgraded. They're using Office 2010. And even though it might look a little bit the same as Office 2007, there's always something that's just a little bit different about it. So what I like about this, you can definitely learn all about it. Now, they've got Word tips, Excel tips, PowerPoint tips, and even Office for Macs as well. And you can view more tutorials by clicking here, and then you also have Excel formulas as well. So we're going to go to Word. And each one tells you, you're going to read getting started with Word. Well, you might say to yourself, I've already started Word. I just would like to learn something specific. Well, maybe you want to you're working with text and you want to just, how do they do those indentions and those tabs? And you click right here and it's going to take you to this where you can actually download a practice document. And then you're going to watch the video below, and then they're going to take you step by step on how to do that. Okay? Step by step. Great directions. And remember, they're using the latest version of Office Word on here. Okay? So maybe you already know how to indent and use tabs. You can keep scrolling down. Maybe you want to figure out why is it not printing correctly. Maybe you need to work on your page layout, or you need to have breaks. But look at this. We keep going, and these are some extras. And there's even a quiz at the very end if you want to just quiz your knowledge about working with Word. Okay? So I think this is just such a great website. You can get to it. I'm going to put it. I'm going to make sure that it's a link here. But it is edu. It's the learnfree.org, and I'll make sure there's a link that's just specific to that as well. All right. So those are some things that you can do when you're visiting our website. There's all sorts of different things that you can do also on the computer, and you can get a lot of live help as well. All right, I'm going to go over some events real fast, and let's look at the events that are coming up tomorrow on Friday. We've got Take and Make Cards of Kindness over at Loveland. Isn't that appropriate? Now that starts, well, yeah, tomorrow is October 1st, isn't it? And so we've got, that starts on October 1st and it goes throughout the month over at Loveland. You've got a pizza program over at Westwood. You've got a art lab that's going to be over at Westwood. And then you have vaccinations over at Forest Park. And make sure that if you're going to do that, that you look at the information and make sure you might want to just give them a call ahead as well. There's also doing an in-person West End 60th anniversary exposition. I can say it. They're doing an exhibit. Thank you for opening and that's opening there from 3 to 6. That's going to open tomorrow. And there's an outdoor car bingo and tic-tac-toe over at Hyde Park. And then there's Honey Hill Farm over at Madeira, and that's going to be some really fun where you have some chickens and some sheep and goats and an alpaca, and there's still space available for that as well. All right, I'm going to click out and tell you a few more things, and we'll call it a day.
Well, all right. That was today's Lunch and Learn. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget, I put a link in there so you can learn more information about the Next Generation Library, the current projects like at Maine and Deer Park and Madisonville. You can look at the past completed projects and then even the future projects as well. A lot of exciting things still happening at the library Friday, tomorrow, which is Friday, which is the West End's 60th anniversary. And that they're having a special exhibit. That's from 3 to 6 tomorrow. And then at Hyde Park, they're doing car bingo at 7 o'clock. So definitely check that out. And then on Saturday at Madeira, they're having Honey Hill Farm with a lot of great farm animals. Check that out. And then the plant swap, we're having another plant swap that's at Northern Row Park, and that's at 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock. All right. So thanks for joining me for today's Lunch and Learn. I will see you next week, and have a good weekend. Thanks.